Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
Tangerine and ginger extract, Topo Chico.
That is so rude.
I don't even say my name anymore.
No one even knows who's speaking. It's BachelorClues.
I'm Tangerine and ginger extract, Topo Chico. Welcome to Topo Chico Tangerine and Ginger Extract. Today we're going to be recapping Topo Chico Tangerine and Ginger Extract, Topo Chico Tangerine and Ginger Extract.
This is... I mean... Are you trying to drive me insane?
We're all driven insane at this point.
This.
If there's a sane person living or listening to this right now, please DM me. Tell me how you're doing it. We have a lot to get to tonight.
Yeah, DM me and also send me a LaCroix boy, plain flavor, nice. Please.
Pretty good. We got to get to this episode. Obviously, this is week 3 or episode 3 of Grant Ellis' historic Bachelor season 29. Some incredible play, some absolutely abysmal play, some strange decisions by producers, and a big lie that was told by a player we'll get to. Before we get to any of that,
lie.
We must mention right now, if you don't want to drink Topo Chico Tangerine and Ginger Extract, and instead you want to drink wine, specifically rosé, Game of Rosé is now available to everyone who listens to this podcast. It was available only on our Patreon for a week. A lot of people got a lot of it. There's still a little bit more left. So
little left. Get there quickly.
Get it while you can.
If you want that rosé.
Go to all of our social media has a link to the Styrene Vineyards website where you can order it to your state if they ship to your state. We're getting word now that I believe Georgia and Kansas are now open to ship to, and they're adding on more states. So you have to kind of be checking on it, I guess. You can email directly with Colin Styrene. He's the guy at the vineyard taking care of all this, the guy who brewed it, him and his dad. Brewed it?
Stomp the grapes.
Wine? I don't think it's called brewing. I think I messed that up.
Yeah, I think you cook it.
You cook it? He's cooking the wine.
You cook it in a barrel, maybe,
saucepan.
I want to say. First of all, you stomp the grapes with your feet. I know that part.
We've seen
then,
it. Pilot Pete.
Something with barrels.
Yeah, put it in barrels.
Anyway, we're wine experts, so get our Game of Rosé on. We have another wine producer on this episode, Lisa Vanderpump.
Indeed.
She produces wine. She produces rescued dogs. She can do it all.
She truly can. And if you want to watch any of the episodes from this season of Grant Ellis' historic Bachelor season 29, just come out to 33 Taps in Silver Lake on a Monday night at 8 p.m. PaceCase and I will be there. Anya will be there. We are holding down the whole season at 33 Taps. And so far, it's been a blast.
It is so fun. I'm so glad we're back in Silver Lake over in my neck of the woods on the east side. And thank you everyone for coming. The live shows are extraordinary. It is when we're doing this, it's a very, I mostly am just talking to Chad in my house alone. So being able to have that community feeling watching The Bachelor is great. And I love watching it on the big screen.
Oh, God.
So it's just I can see details of the plays I had no idea were even there.
Grant's head is even bigger than it was in that limo exit when his head was brought in as a giant cardboard cutout. It's that size times 2 probably on this giant wall that is just a screen of Bachelor. So we hope to see you out there. But now, PaceCase, let's...
By the way, ad-free episodes and all of our extra content are available at patreon.com/Game of Roses. And we also have YouTube subscriptions that are basically like our Patreon Lite now. That you can get on our Game of Roses YouTube channel to get all the Digging Deepers, which I would say is kind of like our flagship, our Mona Lisa of every other week.
And by the way, if you ain't watching Traitors season 3, your life being done wrong. You need to watch it because, yes, Rose Adams was the first player eliminated at a round table.
So
but Gabby Wendy's still in the game, though. And she is doing stuff in this season that is to me, historically speaking, in Traitors, it will be remembered through season after season as some of the funniest stuff that has ever been done by any player. I'm simply saying
There's
that.
also a performance, a court jester type fool edit performance by Tom Sandoval that is not to be missed. It's an extraordinary show. And I really don't like shows that don't really have that dating relationship element in them. So that's saying a lot.
That is. And if you want to watch it all with me in Clues Corner, you can do that on our Patreon as well. I'm breaking down all the plays. Sometimes I make predictions. I'll pause it and I'll be like, I think this is about to happen. And I'm sometimes right. Not always,
Classic.
but sometimes. All right, PaceCase. Now, enough business. Let's do what we came here to do.
Enough business. Oh my gosh.
This is Game of Roses, our recap of Grant Ellis's episode 3. We open this episode with a teaser, the first time they've done that this season. And it looks like it's happening at a cocktail party. We see Carolina. She's sitting with Grant. She's dressed nice in a cocktail party dress. And she tells him, I heard something from somebody. They told me you were thinking of another woman when you were dancing with me. And Grant delivers an almost cartoon level kind of, what are you talking about? Furrowed brow, half smile. And Grant says, I didn't say that. That's a lie. Who told you that? That's how we open this episode. It's a very effective teaser. Yes. We are all watching to the end of this episode to see who is telling the lie and if indeed it is a lie. I thought this teaser was perfect. Well,
for lies. No.
Will they get punished or will they get rewarded by producers because they need the liar to stick around to build a rivalry? We'll get to it. Portion 1 begins. Morning at Villa de la Vina. The players are eating breakfast. I wrote this. Litia is slathering a bagel with a mountain of avocado, reminiscent of Richard Dreyfuss's mashed potato mountain in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
She's got to get that avocado. You think growing up with 11 siblings, you ever got to eat that much avocado? No, wait. You get like
You don't think Vi was eating all the avocado?
In Wisconsin?
Vi was eating every avocado in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin? Yeah.
To get strong and set a record in college, in track, and then come into our beloved game and be the greatest player that we've ever seen.
Does he pay you?
Who's that?
Nick Vial?
No, he doesn't pay me anything.
I don't know why this is just occurring to me. He doesn't pay you at all to say all these things.
I mean, Nick Vial, if you're out there, if you're listening, please pay me, and I'll slather even more praise on you than Litia slathered avocado on her bagel. You see what I've done there?
Ooh, yes. A metaphor.
So we then get this. I also wrote this in parentheses. I just wrote art about what we see next. A girl chat about how the players slept and what they dreamt about. Chloe admits to a dreamless sleep. Parisa informs us that her dreams...
Mini error.
What's that?
Mini error.
She should have just made up a dream.
Yeah.
I agree.
You think all these dreams are real? No way.
100%. Parisa informs us that her dreams while in the mansion have turned darker. She was haunted by the images of a man trying to rip her teeth out. Natalie dreamt of a baby penguin imprinting on her. We get some Fool music playing up here. And she says the penguin was dying in the ocean. She had to rescue it. And Chloe asks, what is imprinting? Natalie and Parisa then explain it's a bond. And then Chloe wonders out loud how she can get Grant to imprint on her. This whole scene.
Chloe, have you never seen Twilight? That's the only reason why all of these women know what imprinting is.
Oh.
Because the werewolf basically imprints on a baby and says, you're my soulmate. It's grooming 101.
Hey, that's the werewolf way. Don't knock it. I thought this was a piece of art, and it's what we need more of in our beloved game. The producers are starting to take notes from Love Island. This is
the most Love Island coded episode of Bachelor we've ever had.
Yes. It's these conversations
in numerous ways.
Like in a Zach Shawcross season or a Clayton Echard season, this would be seen by editors and producers as frivolous. This material would have never made the episode. Here, they are opening with it, and it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It doesn't make them seem like they're being kidnapped. We're seeing them eat. We get this girl chat with DLP. He remarks. You know, there's always a remark about the amount of people in the room.
Yep.
And this one is the first one. You all fit on the couch now. We've culled the excess who are standing.
Yeah, now there are only enough souls to fit on one couch. I will savor them all. That's how he sounds in my mind. DLP then commends the players on being open and vulnerable and informs them there are going to be 2 one-on-ones and 1 group date, which starts right now. He leaves that date card. Alex plays the Postmaster General. We got Natalie, Bailey, Alex, Allie Jo, Chloe, Serafina, Dina, Parisa, Rose, Zoe, Lydia, and Juliana on this group date that says love is the greatest investment. That means Beverly and Carolina are going to get the one-on-ones, right? Right.
So
what happened to Beverly?
What happened to
Where
Beverly?
is she?
Beverly got disappeared. We don't know what type of illness that she got. Did some crazy story come out about Beverly? Is this all a cover story? I don't know.
100%. We'll get to it. We can get to it when it's revealed in the episode that she had an illness and she's not coming back to the house. And that's all we get. Where's the
I'm very
doctor?
curious about what your theory is. But we'll
make
get to it. We'll
a
get to
house
it.
call? Where's the footage?
Yeah, where's Doc Glock?
They showed nothing of this.
What the girls are not excited about this theme of the group date. They're like, he's a day trader.
Who would be? Who would be excited about this?
No, it's the worst date ever.
It's finance.
It's like an SAT.
Who gives a shit? Who cares? It's the driest, most boring idea they've ever had for a date.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did
bad.
it. I mean, I know
why
why
did they start with this? Why didn't they start with the Carolina 101? You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I'm like, okay, well, your budget all went to that clearly. I would load that up front.
yeah.
I don't know.
There was something weird in the construction of all of this because of the Beverly thing getting sick and her not being around for the one-on-one. I can only assume if they were going to do 2 one-on-ones in a group date, it would have been one-on-one, group date, one-on-one. Usually they do make it kind of symmetrical. If they're going to do 2 group dates, they bookend. If they're going to do 2 one-on-ones, they bookend.
But she's not sick yet. Beverly's there. Huh?
She was never sick.
Okay.
She was never sick. Beverly is still fine, was never ill, and they disappeared her for some other reason that we don't know. That's my conspiracy town, okay?
It's just like when who was it, Kirpa, who got the had an unexplained wound bandaged up and they never address it. The girls talk about a fun kind of TikTok topic, girl math. Serafina, if you return a dress, you're basically earning money. Carolina, and if you exchange a dress, it's for free. And we get this TikTok song. This is based on a TikTok sound.
Looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes.
And it's kind of like a rap, upbeat, poppy version of this song. And Grant's like, well, I'm not 6'5", I'm 6'4", and I got brown eyes.
Weak.
And I don't have a trust fund, but I'm looking to build that nest egg.
It's a Ferrari.
That's his nest egg, I guess.
Should have taken the money that he spent on the Ferrari and opened a trust fund, and you'd be fined.
I mean, look, you know how I feel about men who pose in front of cars. I don't like it. Grant's probably the person I like the most who has posed in front of a car like this.
Okay.
He's growing on me. I'm like, oh my God, maybe everything I knew was wrong. We see then the first portion of this group date, and it is Grant introduces it. He says, it's something about me. Finances are important. And that is true. Like, in a marriage, it is a business deal, and you should discuss finances.
But this has nothing to do with that. This is a joke. It's called the Bachelor School of Finance. He tells him that he has 2 special guests, Daniel Lebeski from Shark Tank, the guy who started Kind Snacks, and Hannah Berner, who needs no introduction, obviously. She was a fantastic addition to this. Daniel Lebeski just stands there. He doesn't do anything.
They couldn't have underused. I mean, Hannah Berner does what she does. She makes the most out of it. And she's clearly the star. Daniel does nothing. Cut him out of the show. Just act like he's a PA or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Like, I think Hannah would have been better for, like, honestly, like a tennis date. She knows how to play tennis. And, like, I don't know, get Grant discussing the finances with the women. Like, how will we divide up if we buy a house? Where are we going to move? Like, I would like to see those conversations. Instead, we get this weird competition where, I mean, Bailey's the only one who really realizes the true game, which is making jokes to appeal to Hannah.
She killed this date.
Crushed.
They forced them all to don power suits off of a rack. And then they all sit at these tables.
Wait.
Yeah.
When they don the power suits, they do a slow-mo montage of them, kind of like they're looking sexy walking in pantsuits. Very Love Island.
Unfortunately, it ain't shot as good as Love Island. And look, I get it.
But it's an attempt.
I give the props. Look, yes, you attempted. You attempted.
My bar is low. My bar is low, Clues.
The attempt was not done well, though, because what you do, you're shooting that, I believe, on a long lens. So you flatten the whole image. So it's Grant and these women walking downstairs, but you're getting no movement toward the camera because of the long lens. So they all just look like they're descending down a frame. If you're shooting that in Love Island, that camera is going to be placed at a 3/4 angle. As they walk by it, you're going to get massive movement through the frame. They're all going to shoot a little look to the camera as they pass. So each one gets an individual moment.
Yeah,
it was a good attempt.
Probably should have been.
It was lost.
One line.
It was lost, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's more Love Island coding in this whole episode.
For sure.
Parisa makes a good play, goes and sits next to Grant.
Got to do that. Anytime there's an opportunity on a group date to be partnered with the lead, whether it's sitting in a boat or sitting next to them at a table discussing finance, so boring. You have to do it.
So boring.
And she does.
I know. I'm like, are people just turning the TV off when they see this?
Absolutely.
I do like the location, though. I think it is actually where we shot some of Good Place, this like old bank vault that is like an event space now. Downtown. We see that there is going to be an odd stakes in this episode, which is Grant Bucks. And you can see,
if
you're watching on YouTube, I'm dressed as a Grant Buck right now.
Oh, nice. I see.
Thank you.
I thought you were dressed as a 6'5" blue-eyed finance bro.
Oh, 5'9", blue eyes. No nest egg, but working on it. Sign up for our Patreon to get this nest egg, please.
Good one. If anybody out there has Grant Bucks, I want some Grant Bucks. I want some of the actual Grant Bucks used on this date. Send me your Grant Bucks. Yeah.
You got to get that t-shirt from Bailey.
I don't know if I want the t-shirt. I already have some gym shorts. We find out that...
wow. Okay. Now the museum is tightening up its requirements to get in. It used to be anyone who was even on the show, if they even made a painting, they could get in the museum.
If you can't beat Nick Viall's basketball shorts, step aside.
Well, it would have, I think the shirt would have been better if Bailey had actually gotten to sleep in it and spend one night in the shirt. They don't even let her stay one night in it.
But we see them being asked all these questions. When was the last time your credit card was declined? Litia says, in college. Get some Grant Bucks for being honest. How much should you spend on a wedding ring? Bunch of different answers here. Allie Joe says...
These were wild answers.
Some of them were very wild.
Allie Joe says... spend this much money on a wedding ring. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Ever hear of cubic zirconium? Allie Joe gets the Grant Bucks for saying, as long as it's on my finger... He has good taste. Dina says 3 months combined salary of both the man and the woman. Grant wrote down $20,000. I don't know what the true answer is here. In America, is it 3 months salary?
That used to be
In
like
Japan,
a thing.
It's like 6 months salary, I think.
I think that a diamond company actually came up with that.
They did.
I think that's the history of it, that it should be 3 months salary. But that is actually, in my opinion, insane.
Yeah.
You're not going to get extra joy out of something. Like, there's a limit.
The diamond industry is, it's a complete fraud. This has been known for many, many years. They hoard the diamonds to drive the, in quotes, value of them up so they can charge more. They establish these guidelines for how much money you should be spending on an engagement ring. Even the slogan, Diamonds are forever was coined by an ad exec, I believe back in the 30s or 40s, specifically to sell diamonds.
What about diamonds are a girl's best friend? Who made that one?
That one, I don't know. Anyways, we move on. The most risque purchase.
The only question I like in this is most risque purchase. Yeah. And Alex answers plug.
Butt plug.
Almost my play of the game.
She answers butt plug.
Was butt censored?
Yeah, it was blurred out.
I missed that.
So you can't even show the word butt on ABC, but you can infer it. And then he even says, Grant, I think, goes butt plug, and they bleep out butt.
Yeah.
We see define asset. Chloe says, my juicy booty. I thought that was a good answer. Bailey then ITMs that she's answering all these questions to appease Hannah Berner because she's the one who's giving out the money. She understands the game. She's playing the game within the game. The answers don't matter. Yes.
Hannah Berner is your celebrity host. She is literally like on one of the biggest podcasts that has female listeners.
Absolutely.
Giggly Squad. And also has appeared in Summer House reality television. Like, this is your person that you want to befriend the most possible. Daniel, who cares? You're never going to see that man again. Hannah Berner, you should be sucking up to in this moment.
Absolutely agree.
We then see Zoe's not liking it because the rules are not rules, and none of the answers make sense
at all.
Okay, like, Zoe.
Yeah, you realize the show you're on is a lie. Nothing about what the show is stated to be about is true. You have to understand that.
Grant bucks is not real money.
Correct. These cannot be spent anywhere.
But then they go in this little money machine. Very like, what was that? Wittgenstein's Money. That's where they did this.
Oh yeah. I've seen these kind of like money wind tunnel type things. You got to stand in it.
I don't like it.
Catch
it's
as
very
many things as you can.
To me, I don't like it.
Well, it ain't as bad as Beast Wars or Beast Games, that's for sure.
I guess that's true.
I agree. At this time in this country, I think having people debase themselves for literal dollars is never good to see on TV.
Yeah. Also, missed opportunity. I would have taken off that pantsuit blazer, use it to fully envelop all of the money in the tank. I feel like people could have done better on that.
Missed opportunity. I would throw my body weight against one of the walls of the chamber I was in, knocking the whole thing down, invalidating the entire thing, and maybe getting a little damage on me in the process so that I could play an IFI.
Gotta get a little damage on you somehow. Yeah. Hard to do in this group date, but
that is true.
If you have creativity, it would have been funny if like someone goes over to Daniel and is like, "Oh, are you okay? Let's do a breathing exercise, Daniel. You look nervous about your public speaking."
I'd be pitching Daniel in the corner. My ideas, my Shark Tank ideas.
Listen, sharks.
Yeah.
Have you been astrally projecting? You know, the director of the show also directs Shark Tank.
Director of what show?
The Bachelor, Ken Fuchs.
That's how they got him. He made a phone call. Hey, do you want to be on a group date? He's like, what's a group date?
Not a big get.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we move on. Bailey wins this. She gets some more money from Hannah Berner that she's going to be able to spend tonight at the after party, which we go to in portion 2. They're at Clifton's, a Los Angeles landmark founded in 1931 by Clifford E. Clifton and his wife Nelda. Bailey ITMs making it rain. She's peeling off the bills, picks up the money. No, I actually need these. A guy in a suit comes out and says, Miss Bailey, your menu for the evening. And this Grant Bucks menu delivery man was not my Jorge Moreno bystander of the week. Almost. He was until something else happened.
Lots of competition.
We read this menu. Champagne toast, 1,000 Grant Bucks. Private dance, 5,000. One of Grant's t-shirts, 8,000. And then it says a trip to Paris for 3 million Grant Bucks. Now, this is a joke akin to the Pepsi Harrier jet offer. Did you watch that documentary?
What?
In the 90s.
What documentary?
There's a documentary. There's a documentary about everything now. If you look for it, if you know where to look. I believe this is on Netflix. In the 90s, there was a TV commercial for Pepsi. They were doing this thing called Pepsi Points. If you unscrewed the cap of every Pepsi bottle, there were like 3 points on it. And you could trade in these points for like backpacks and notebooks and whatever. Like teenage stuff, right? In the 90s. On the TV commercial, they show you the things you can get, and then it says for 1 million Pepsi points, you get a Harrier jump jet, like a Air Force military fighting plane, basically.
Oh.
And so this kid is sitting at home watching it, and he's like, what would it actually take to get 1 million Pepsi points? And he starts calculating the math of like, how many Pepsis would I have to buy? And is that worth as much as the jump jet? And he finds a way that you can just mail in for the Pepsi points. So you don't even have to buy the Pepsi. And he goes to an investor and he's like, I think we can get this Harrier jump jet for like $600,000. It's worth 17 million. And so this guy's like on board. He gets the 1 million points. He sends it in. And Pepsi is like, that was just a joke. And he's like, no, look at your TV commercial. Nowhere in it does it say this is not real. Give me the fucking jet. And they took him to court. And they wound up, Pepsi was going to offer like a $500,000 settlement. I believe he refused it. And then it went all the way to a higher court where they slapped the kid down. Fuck you very much. And he got railroaded. That's my little story.
Oh, that's horrible.
So I would have found out
the 500.
If I was Bailey, I would have taken one of those Grant Bucks and written 3 million on it and been like, ting, ting, here's my $3 million Grant Bucks bill. We're going to Paris. And if not, I'm taking you to court. Grant ITMs that he thinks tonight's going to be drama free. They cheers. He ITMs that he thinks Bailey is beautiful. She buys the shirt from him in their one-on-one time for the $8,000. Gets a little dessert as well. Grant brings cookies, champagne. And then he's like, I've seen Bailey's funny side. Now I need to know if she's serious. And then that will flip-flop all season. If it's a serious player, now he's got to see the funny side. If it's a funny player, you got to do PTC.
Yeah.
She puts on the shirt. She sniffs the shirt. Smells good. Smells like Grant. She comes back to the group in the shirt. Makes it rain Grant Bucks on them. Allie Joe sniffs the shirt. She got in a sniff and she didn't even buy the shirt. You can't get a sniff unless you buy the shirt.
Oh.
You don't sniff the shirt without a proper purchase of the shirt using the proper amount of Grant Bucks.
Did you sniff the shorts?
No, I have not sniffed the shorts.
We then get one-on-one time with Parisa. Oh my God.
I literally haven't. The thought of that is actually grotesque to me.
I know. That is pretty gross. No. We get this one-on-one time with Parisa, and she challenges Grant to a Chubby Bunny competition in which they are shoving what looks like Rice Krispie treats in their mouths. And Parisa, with her mouth chock full of these treats, makes my
face play of the game.
I'm a sucker for a weird face play and a mini date activity, such as a face mask or toothpaste all over your face or whatever like that. Loved this by Parisa.
I did too, because it results in Grant indulging the Chubby Buddy eating contest. And at one point we cut to him to see he has raised eyebrows, full aperture, open mouth, packed full of Rice Krispie treats. And this was my
face play of the game.
So dueling face plays from the same little mini date there. But I thought this was great. Parisa really is, for me, doing the most with very little that they're giving her. You know she's
they're
a floater.
Giving her nothing.
Yeah, you know he's not taking her to the finals. She probably won't even get into playoffs. But she's doing the most with her time she can. Yeah. She is securing a berth to paradise with this type of play.
To me, she is the most studied student that we are seeing. You know, she might not have the raw talent of certain ones, but the AI PowerPoint thing, the mansion free play antics she's doing with the tarantula, like she's making the most of every moment she's on screen.
She understands very well the structure of the game. She understands very well statistically what she's most likely to encounter. She understands very well how to capitalize on those moments if given the opportunities. We've really never seen her drop the ball in any case. Mansion free play antics, looking for the lizards and the tarantulas and the orb weaver that she says she can see its fangs.
The orb weaver.
Hey, let's have a girl chat about dreams. What did you dream about last night? A man trying to rip my teeth out. That's going in the cut.
Yeah.
What do you want to do on your one-on-one date? Challenge him to a Rice Krispie eating contest. She don't miss.
Great. Way to get a face play. Double face play. We then get someone who is missing, Zoe. She is in a little girl chat where everyone is saying, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm having so much fun. Isn't everyone? And Zoe goes, no, I'm so uncomfortable.
Fuck this place.
Grant wasn't even looking at me during the Grant Bucks challenge, and everyone is so bubbly, and she produces tears.
Yeah, this was a rough one.
I really relate to this as a person who I feel like has never been described as bubbly. You know?
You never have been?
I've been described as a space case.
I've been described as maniacal, but never bubbly. Allie Joe ITMs that it's annoying. This
Edgelord?
I have been called
Not close to bubbly.
An E-Lord. Allie Joe says that this is The Bachelor, not the Zoe show, so she better not ruin the rest of the night. Portion 3 begins. Zoe's telling the bartender that he's keeping them together tonight. Wells Adams would never be told this.
Do they have the same drink limits that they have on VIP?
I don't know. Supposedly it's 2 per hour, but I don't know if that's changes season by season. I have literally no idea what it is now, or what it was for this season, I should say.
I don't know. Everyone seemed wasted in this to me, but we see then Serafina says, I guess off camera, that is the shortest dress I've ever seen in my life. And this was my error of the game. Serafina has played a very solid performance up until now. You know, she's kind of a floater a la Parisa. This kind of like dress slut shaming I don't like it.
I agree with you. It was an error for sure. Not my error of the game. There was in my opinion, a bigger error, but yeah, this was very bad play. It's unforced. There's no reason to say this. It's not going to position you in any better way. It's only going to come back to bite you in the ass. There's only a negative outcome that will happen as a result of this play. Zoe ITMs, this is not girls girl behavior. Zoe discusses the comment with Chloe and says it's cruel. Zoe then ITMs that Grant deserves to know she's loading a tattle. She won't let him be duped by fake people. And we get this one on time with Zoe where she explains her first group date. She was in her element. It was athletics. She explains she's getting constant jabs now. And she calls out specifically this comment about her dress being too short. And Grant is like, who said that? He immediately goes into investigation mode. And she's like, I don't really want to say. So she got this accusation off without having to literally tattle on a person. This is how you have to do it now. Coming to a lead and saying like, this person said this about me and I don't like it. You immediately are setting up a rivalry in the lead's mind. This is just her talking about the circumstance of the situation is treating her bad. I'm not going to tell you who. It's just like this situation is bad. And it takes a little bit of the tattleness out of the tattle. I thought it was brilliant play.
Definitely. We're seeing tattles more and more be vague. And I mean, honestly, Serafina benefits from this, that Grant's investigative skills are all spent on another investigation later.
Unreal.
And he never gets to the bottom of this one.
It's unreal. He's such a bad investigator. Later on with the Carolina thing, where he throws out 3 names in a row and she's like, nope. Look, I don't want to talk about
throwing out names was almost my error, because I was like, wow, you are basically telling us who you think is 4TWR.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I guess Bailey's going home.
Yes.
First one he named.
And he didn't nail any of them. So anyway, Grant basically says, look, I appreciate you telling me. I see that you're trying. Don't stop being you, even if other people are getting offended by it. She gets a kiss out of this. We see then one-on-one time with Juliana. She asks for something new about him. He's like, well, I love animals and dogs. And he has a dog called Diesel, small but mighty. She says she has a dog called Charlie. Grant ITMs that there's no issues on the physical
Everybody
side.
say one word at the same time. Dog. Basketball.
Basketball, by the way, was mentioned in this episode 4 or 5 times. And there's no basketballs in this episode. He tells her that he saw her cute frustrations at the basketball game, and he's attracted to that, her cute frustrations, and he gets a kiss out of this. She insists that her heart is happy at this fairy tale. Grant returns, picks up that group date rose. He says, tonight, there are rumors about people belittling and making people feel uncomfortable. We have to be kind to each other. I appreciate you all. I'll see you soon. Much of this is played off face. So I think half of this little speech probably was part of an ITM that they cobbled together. Some of it might have even been ADR. Like they brought him in to record new comments to lay in over this. Juliana ITMs, nobody wants anybody to feel belittled. They go into investigation mode. Litia says, I didn't discuss...
but Parisa gets the group date rose, that 0-pointer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Parisa got her group date rose for the Rice Krispie treats. And then all the other women go into this investigation mode. Litia is saying, it wasn't me. Who talked about the other girls? Juliana ITMs that she knows it's Zoe. She comes right after. Zoe, did you have that conversation? And Zoe's like, I'm allowed to chat about whatever I want to chat about. And Juliana says, well, I guess we're going to have to figure that one out then, I guess. And Allie Joe ITMs, we know who it was. And now we have to know what she said. Zoe gets cornered by the other women, produces tears, and she says that everyone is so mean. Serafina then ITMs that she doesn't want to be a part of the drama. Too late, Serafina. Too late. Portion 4.
The next day, everyone is crying inexplicably, even though it's the morning after.
Did you know what it opened with? This portion?
Flower?
A shot of a raven presiding over Villa de la Vina, looking down upon the pool as we hear sounds of sobbing, and this all-knowing, all-seeing spirit of Dark Lord Harrison come back in raven form to surveil the remnants of the empire he once ruled was not my creature of the week.
Oh my God. I did notice this bird. It was an interesting one. It was like, this is an omen.
Yes,
we're gonna have a bad
dark
portion.
portent.
Alex is producing tears. Serafina is producing tears. I noticed Alex is cuddling with a little stuffed llama. I like that.
Huh.
And Alex says, we've been trying to befriend Zoe. I asked about her pageants. She doesn't try to be friends with us.
What else can I do but ask somebody about their pageantry? And if they don't want to
I
open
talked
up
about her
it.
favorite topic.
So we
good.
see then Carolina arrives to go on her one-on-one, and she finds a private jet, and Grant waving in front of it. Her one-on-one begins. She runs to him, no hooju. He explains they have a private jet for the day, has their little whip, and he says they're going to go to the fabulous city of Las Vegas. They pop champagne in the jet, feed each other strawberries as she ITMs a loaded love level 1. I have feelings for Grant.
Wait.
They take a Polaroid selfies. They freestyle a little bit.
When they pop the champagne, Carolina does this little slow nod, and I have now noticed it's her signature gesture. She did this in the first episode when popping champagne. I love it.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like slowly like proud of myself, or like, yeah, it's really funny to me. Always.
She's one of my favorite players so far this season.
Oh, she's my favorite player this season. Like, hands down. I'm like, I can't wait to see what she's going to do next. They then are going to do this horrifically stressful date in Las Vegas, an actual nightmare. They're jumping off of something called the
Stratosphere.
big tower thing.
That's a casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. And that giant tower, I believe, is the tallest structure in Las Vegas. And I'm not positive that we've seen this exact one before at the Stratosphere, but we've seen this leap of faith off of some tall structure multiple times. You may remember Sean Lowe and Sarah Heron did it in season 17 off of a skyscraper in downtown LA. Nonetheless, they get geared up. They make a secret handshake at the top of the towers. Carolina explains that she sprained her ankle as a child.
The handshake play was unreal.
Yeah, they've got that locked in. And then we see an instructor come out to help them set up and step to the edge of this stratosphere jumping little pedestal. And this instructor was my Jorge Moreno, bystander of the week. Anytime a bystander is literally taking the lives of our lead and at least one player into their hands, they're going to get my accolades, because this is a big responsibility, and this instructor pulls it off perfectly. We see a little kiss before.
Cruz is going to be looking up your instructor records if anything goes wrong in the forums.
You got that right. You want to know?
Pressure.
Grant may not be able to investigate. You know who can investigate? Me.
Yeah.
Grant gets a little kiss here. The ITM's nervousness. The instructor pushes him out onto the ledge, gives him the thumbs up. Grant jumps off. He cusses as he falls down. They bleep him. He gets to the bottom. He's safe. Carolina's up next. She screams, but loves it seemingly. She lands safely. And then they agree to do it again. And it looks like they're doing it multiple times. Now, this part of this, the way they present it, props for trying. They're doing this weird split screen thing where there's a line down the middle of the screen. Grant's on the left
And they're
side.
both jumping.
Carolina's on the right side. Then they split it horizontally, so it's top and bottom. It just looks like amateur hour editing. It looks like it just looks like somebody's doing this in Final Cut Pro, just with like stock whatever split screens and stuff.
Dang.
You're up against Love
I was
Island
confused.
now.
I was like, wait, are they jumping more than once? I guess they are, or it's multiple shots of the same thing.
We'll never know. But in terms
We'll
of
never know.
editing and presentation of things like this, I get that you're trying to be more Love Island-y, and that's the right move. But you can't be 10% of it. If you're going to do weird editing things, they have to be fucking good, because you're up against Love Island, a work of art. There's not a frame out of place in any edit in Love Island, and they're kicking out 5 episodes a week. You got to do better.
They literally did a swipe with a Grant book earlier in the episode, I noticed. When you're noticing the editing, that's a bad thing.
I agree.
They then go to the more elaborate handshake and foot shake play here. It's like I'm watching what's that movie with the twins who go to summer camp?
Barbarians.
And they then switch places to try to get their parents back together.
Parent Trap?
Parent Trap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of handshake play in Parent Trap.
Okay.
It reminded me of that. They go to this night portion, dinner at the Cromwell. No, it is Drace Beach and Nightclub. They kiss in the limo on their way, and then they are going to do this dinner in the pool where they have to take their shoes off and eat with wet feet. We then get this conversation where Grant asks Carolina, "Are you ready for marriage? What makes you think? Give me some evidence." And she goes, "Yes, I am, but I've learned what I don't like and what I want. And you have the good qualities, empathy. When I heard your story about your dad, how loyal you are." She starts producing tears. You stick around for people, tying it to Grant, this PTC that she's introing. I want people to stick around for me. And then she goes into the story about how she started getting tremors and seizures when she was 13, this epilepsy, PTC, and then says it has affected her romantic relationships. People haven't wanted to deal with it. And it doesn't mean that she can't go to a fun concert, but she needs to recover afterwards, that kind of thing. And this PTC by Carolina was my play of the game. I feel like she earned through this PTC so much goodwill towards the rest of the season. So in the promos, it appears that she's getting a villain edit, but I feel like she's going to be protected because of how good she played this one-on-one date.
100%.
Yeah.
Carolina's epilepsy PTC was also my
play of the game.
And it's by itself, it's a very strong PTC. I have epilepsy.
Yeah.
I have, you're going to have to take that into account if we're in a relationship together. You're going to have to be okay with that. And that means he's got to give her the rose, because he can't say, "You know what? Thanks for telling me. I've decided not to move forward with you after hearing that." So she's got to get a rose out of it. But she's done more than just that. She, like you're saying, PaceCase, laid in the beginning, I need somebody who's going to stick with me, who's going to be there for all the hard stuff. So now if he dumps her at any point, she gets to have that moral high ground of, I told you I needed somebody to stick with me, and now you're getting rid of me because of what? Can't be my PTC because you gave me a rose right after that. It's going to have to be for some other thing, and it's going to paint him in a bad light. She has basically kind of pre-made this scenario that will make him look like the asshole if he ever dumps her. Brilliant, brilliant play.
It's so good. She punctuates it with tears. He then says that he love level ones her. I'm starting to feel feelings for you. This PTC won't stand in the way of our marriage. I'll put you first always. So she's getting him to kind of pre-commit to her in a way. It's just so well done. And she is such an interesting player to watch. I'm I don't know what she's going to do any second. And this PTC, there's no hint of it coming from anywhere. You don't know. And she gets that one-on-one rose. gets a kiss. Grant says he could see himself falling for her in his ITM, loaded love level 2. That's the highest we've seen him go for anyone. Yeah. And they get some more kisses. Next portion, we see a Hummer, but it wasn't my creature.
And then we get this inexplicable thing. Chloe, Dina, and Parisa are telling us that Beverly was incredibly sick and they were informed that she will not be coming back to the house. So does that mean this week? Does that mean she's out of the whole competition forever? I don't get what's going on here. We've seen no footage about it. I believe this is 100% a lie. Nonetheless.
To cover up what?
I don't know. Nonetheless, Beverly.
It does feel like a lie. And I'm like, wait, so you know she's not going to recover? Like, we saw Chalk Chapel leave for a funeral and come back just last season.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's something deeper here that the producers are like, get her out of the show. Nonetheless, Beverly's medical disqualification was my
error of the game.
If you are legitimately sick, you fake like you're not. You power through. You got one shot at this. You cannot give them a reason to kick you off the show. She did. And she had a one-on-one date coming up. She knew that. That was told to her when they read the group date card and her name wasn't on it. Everybody knew it was her and Carolina. And she just threw that in the fucking garbage. I mean, literally, unless you are dying, and maybe even if you are, you stay in the game. Die on camera.
Die on camera. We saw a woman not poop for weeks. She stayed on that beach.
Have an NDE on a one-on-one. Haven't seen that before. I just don't get what happened here. And I don't trust anything that's being said to us.
We've seen players get sick. We saw Trista nurse Alex Michelle back to health. Why couldn't that have been their one-on-one date? They go to the hospital.
Yeah.
We get the next group date card, which I guess is now Beverly's one-on-one date has turned into a 3-person group date of Serafina, Dina, and Litia. Could this be puppy love? So I guess this is supposed to be a one-on-one date with Beverly, and they're like, actually, let's do 3. I do not understand.
Do you think that's what it was, or do you think this is a group date that they had planned for the following week?
Wait, what do you mean? But they had Lisa.
Yeah. But they could have moved that potentially a week. I think you're probably right, though, that this is what the one-on-one date was going to be. And they just redid it for 3 people. Usually
the Occam's razor. But I don't know. Beverly, tell us what really happened. Natalie produces tears when they announce the group date that she's not on it. She says this process is messing with my confidence. And she ITMs, it sucks not feeling seen, like in a lot of my relationships. I'm like, again, they are really putting us on Natalie's side in this kind of like victimization. We get this group date at Vanderpump Dogs, and Dina wins the race. Grant does his dog voice. He takes pictures of the girls with the dogs. There's a dog in a cowboy hat. And then the queen enters. Dark Lord Vanderpump somehow, in my mind, emerges down a long staircase. She is carrying one of her dog creatures. We don't get a chyron for this pup, but Lisa Vanderpump gracing us with her presence to show Grant and Dina how to give a bath to a dog that she calls Little Chicken. This is my Jorge Moreno, bystander of the week.
Interesting.
Hard to beat DLV for me. I love her. She's
held no players' lives in her hands, or I would have given it to her. But the little dog she's carrying under her arm, wearing a bow tie, was my
creature of the week.
Narrowly beating out Dark Lord Harrison's raven form, overseeing the miseries of all the players of season 29.
He has his crow. She has her little bow tie dog.
He is the crow. I'm saying.
Oh, he is
I'm saying
the crow.
he was seeing through
like
the
a
eyes of the crow.
vampire?
What?
Oh, like Game of Thrones.
More like Satan. Lisa Vanderpump explains she loves dogs more than people and takes the players back to wash all these hounds. We see Dina and Grant washing one of the hounds. Dina says she loves dogs.
This hound that Dina and Grant scrubbed down got the most screen time out of any of the creatures in this episode. And this wet puppy, aka little chicken, I don't know the real name, was my creature of the week.
Nice. It was a good hound. Dina says she loves dogs, but she doesn't want to get one until she has a house. Grant's like, I have a house. Dina then ITMs that she grew up with 12 dogs. She was the Vial of the dog world. Grant and Serafina walk a dog. He says, I notice you opening up. She says it's hard for her, but happy to do it. She needs time sometimes, and he's giving her grace. She ITMs that she likes him. This is a loaded love level 1. She thinks they could have a dog together. One-on-one time with Litia. She has strong feelings that make her want to stay with him, and her strong feelings make it tough in between their times together. That's a love level 1. He says he's very attracted to her. That is not a love level 1. She explains how nutty it is. She's like, I really like you. And he's like, I'm very attracted to you. We get
you got the right length bones for me.
He just keeps talking about how good looking she is. We get some dog playing footage here. Grant ITMs that he's catching
You don't
feelings.
get told no a lot, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oops. I mean, you get told no all the time. You get told no just the right amount, like a regular amount, like other people. Dogs, basketball. So was there, Litia basically gets informed that she's having dinner with him. And I'm like, what was this? Was there a play for time?
I guess.
But like
secret play for time.
Yeah. What was the play? So they're just doing the back half of the one-on-one date with one of these 3 players. This was a little bit of a mess. And I get that they had to.
Why didn't they just have Litia go?
Why didn't they just have Beverly go?
She's sick. Okay.
I don't know where she is. I haven't looked at her Instagram, but if it's deactivated, we got trouble.
Okay. She's gone?
Yeah, maybe.
Where is Beverly?
Nobody's ever gone. We all exist at all times and have never existed. But I'm saying her body, her corpus, might be in a shallow grave out back of Villa de la Vina. We need to be checking on this.
Oh my God!
That
all right.
raven had me thinking. That's all I'm saying. You don't put a harbinger of fucking death as the opening shot to portion 7 unless you're trying to convey that someone has died. In my opinion.
Okay. So the raven is Beverly's spirit / DLH. Yeah. We go back to the house for a girl chat, and I wonder how many other Bachelor podcasts talk about it like this.
Only the ones that see the truth.
Only the truth seers. We see Carolina is starting to have her hard time.
She commits an error here in this. She says out loud she wishes she didn't have her one-on-one date because it's making things hard for her. And all these other players, like Parisa's like, that was hard to hear. Like, none of us have had a one-on-one date with him, and she's basically shitting on the one she got. We see Dina and Serafina return to explain that Litia got the back half of this group date, one-on-one date, funeral for Beverly disaster that we're watching. And Serafina then ITMs that she's disappointed to have not been picked for the extra date. Grant and Litia go then to City Hall. Very nice venue. They really do a good job, I think, on this show of finding these kind of like historical places around LA and just putting a little table in it and lighting it very nice. They did this with the Union Station, the train station too once, I remember. And it's like when they do it right.
Highlights the good architecture.
Yeah. When the show gets it right, it still is a level of like class and quality that I think other dating shows don't have. Like you're not going to see a beautiful candlelit environment in a city hall or an old train station or something like that, like on Love Island. That's just going to be people
not
dry
until
humping
the final
and pudding.
dates. dry humping and pudding. No, I mean, they make fun of, your favorite narrator always makes fun of how they're shitty, cheap dates on Love Island, like in the driveway. I also love that they've done Clifton's a bunch of times, but I always love when they go there. We get this dinner with Grant and Litia. Litia says, I want to hear your PTC straight from your lips. So he gives it about, thinking that his dad had it all together with his business and then realizing that there was addiction and his mom was actually holding it down. Grant produces tears here as he is telling this, says he just wants to come home to a kiss and a hug and have a family. Litia and him kiss, and she tells her PTC about her parents meeting and her dad dying 3 months after she was born from a car accident. And her dad died from a car accident, but she has 11 siblings. So it must
She's
have
the one
been
who has 11 siblings? Who had 11 dogs?
Dina.
Dina has 11 dogs. Litia has 11 siblings?
I thought Litia was the Mormon.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Wait, who am I mixing her up with?
I'm not sure.
Shit.
But she basically explains that she was raised, her mom had help from her grandparents and aunts and uncles. She felt loved. She felt special to have this big kind of support system of extended family after her dad died. Grant's like, I respect that a lot. I think we're looking for the same thing. We want to have a family where the kids are excited to see their parents come home. He appreciates her openness and honesty. She then sits on his lap and he's got a special surprise for her. It's not
Phone
what's in his lap.
time.
It's a FaceTime with mom.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Litia produces tears. This is an early meeting of the family. Grant gets to meet her mom here. I predict she's going to get a hometown. This is a standard I love you, I miss you kind of FaceTime call. Grant then tells Litia
Yes, Litia, big Mormon family.
she is the one who has 11 sibs?
Born in Hawaii, 3 months later, car accident. She still feels his presence, rides a horse, kisses horse. I see Hawaiian Mormon horse was my creature of the week. This is written in our notes in the grid.
That was me.
Okay. I figure. Okay, so maybe it's another partner of the mom. We get this PTC. Litia produces tears after her kind of mirror PTC about, moms kind of being single raising. And we got this FaceTime with the mom. And Grant says he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Not good for a bachelor. He gives Litia the one-on-one rose. They kiss. She feels seen and validated.
He also love level ones her. He says, I'm developing feelings for you. Love level 1.
Ooh.
She does get that kiss. They come outside for the final portion of this. Again, botched, weird Beverly one-on-one turned into a fake group date. Now back to a one-on-one with Litia. The final part of it is a private orchestra.
Lisa Vanderpump was a housewife on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Now we're getting somewhere.
There's a clue.
Now we're getting somewhere. Look into that. We then see them kiss, and we hear Grant saying, after tonight, she could be my wife. That is future casting. Meanwhile, back at Villa
Then
de
why are
Lavina.
you guessing her as 4TWR in the investigation later, Grant? If she could be your wife.
I don't know. It's hard to gauge like who he thought it was and why, because some of them were not long for this game, but some of them are. Meanwhile, back at Villa de Lavina, we hear sobbing Carolina ITMs that today was rough. She's producing tears off camera. She talked to Rose, who told her last week on their group date when she and Grant were dancing. Rose told her that Grant told her that when he was dancing with Carolina, he was thinking about Rose. She ITMs, describing her feelings as cringy, produces more tears. She has a rose and she's safe, but she doesn't want to be wasting her time. We go into portion 8. Litia tells the other players about her private group date time. Carolina ITM's feeling anxious about everything because of the combo with Rose. She's going into a downward spiral. There's a knock on the door. Allie Jo answers. It's a black box with a golden ribbon. She brings it in and renders postmaster duties. Reads the card. Will you go to prom with me? Love, Grant. They all cheer. there are corsages in this box for all the women for this strange prom cocktail party, I guess. They get ready for prom.
It is an odd, like, what is going on this episode?
It's meaningless.
The cocktail party is now a prom.
Yeah.
But it's not even in a different location.
Correct.
Huh?
And there's the
It
Golden
feels like all the
Mansion
dates got
men are
mixed
there,
up.
and they're crowning him prom king at the end. And this was I think, that Beverly thing, whatever happened with Beverly, threw the whole producer tier into some kind of confused, frantic scramble to try and piece this episode back together. And it didn't quite work. That said,
Yeah, what did Beverly do? She like trashed all the date supplies or something. She burned it down.
maybe she brought in a recording device.
She Bartised it.
She Bartised it.
Ooh. Well, we get this chaotic prom situation cocktail party. We get this montage of girls doing makeup. Grant loads that he didn't go to prom because of basketball and also didn't have relationships.
Yeah.
I said, hopefully not a Claire situation. I hope we don't see any Grant prom photos emerge off the internet.
Grant,
but if you got them, post them.
Yeah,
Tag us.
exactly. I was something of an athlete myself in high school, Grant. Very devoted to the sport of baseball.
Uh-huh.
I attended my prom, just to let you know.
I mean, at my high school, the athletes were the ones who banged the most. Pretty sure.
Volumetrically, or?
It wasn't the journalism kids. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I mean,
Late bloomers, they call us. Still waiting.
I think I was probably
bloom.
a regular bloomer, but I don't know if I reaped the benefit you're talking about. I just had a girlfriend in high school.
I mean, that's all you need.
I agree.
That's love.
That's all I needed. And then she broke my heart.
I'm sorry.
That's my PTC.
PTC. Heartbreak PTC by Clues. Didn't see that coming. The prom is in the mansion. Terrible. Grant greets the ladies. There's 4 Goldens who are joining now. Keith, Jonathan, Gary, and Jack. And they basically say, Gary's like, humbled to be here. We know what it's like. Kind of. Jonathan, be genuine. Keith, this is the beginning of a great love story. And now all I can think of based on that parasocial play is like Keith is just like scoping all the blondes in the group.
God. Yeah. Notice Pascal was not there.
Well, what has gone down with Pascal?
I don't
That
know.
like chalk rivalry, I feel like I did notice he was missing.
They were not going to turn
Interesting.
Pascal loose on this crop of rookies. We hear Lil Jon's smash hit
probably
Get
it.
Low as the score for the prom. They put some money on that.
I screamed. I literally was watching it next to Jake and I said, they're playing Get Low. I was like, The Bachelor is entering 2025. We're playing songs that have words. We're playing songs that I've heard before. We're playing
2025 though. When did that song come out?
I know that song. I mean, it was very big when I was in high school. But like, it is something that all
2009.
millennials, I think. Okay,
It's a
so I was in
16-year-old
college.
song. Like, welcome to 2025, aka
I know, but
2009.
like, it's modern for me as opposed to all of these things that I never know.
No,
you
you're
know?
right. It is more modern, but still very old.
More modern.
But it's a huge
It's a
song.
great song.
Yeah.
That'll be on the wedding playlist for sure. Except it will have expletives unlike this stupid version.
Yeah.
They do slow-mo shots of them dancing in front of the DJ. Again, Love Island coded. Grant does shots with them to prom and new memories. Jack is doing his burger grill play with Chloe.
That was, I mean, I will say the Golden Mansion men, they got what they got out of them. And I'm sure there's a lot of footage that they didn't use that was probably pretty funny. But they all kind of, other than Jonathan, he was like kind of inert. They all kind of like fulfilled the roles of their identities in their season. I thought anyway.
No, definitely. I thought they did a good job. Like, as weird a decision it was to include them, as weird as this whole date was, I enjoyed it still.
But they're doing it to keep Golden relevant in Bachelor Nation, like in the fandom, because there's a Golden Bachelor coming this year, right after after Bachelorette.
Why wasn't Charles there?
Exactly.
Was he filming?
Well, I mean, he's getting ready, I think. They probably had him training, lifting weights.
He's just going to be so
He's
jacked.
oh
He's
my
going to pull a
God.
gin.
Yeah, 250 pounds of solid rock muscle, 3% body fat, just in a Speedo in every scene.
That's fun.
I know.
I hope so.
Call me up if you need an extra
You already
producer
dyed
on
the
that
hair.
season.
We see one-on-one time with Grant and Dina, and they get a kiss. He says, she invites him to prom as her like move,
Yeah,
which
whatever.
again doesn't make sense after you're already there. She says she can basically work in different states though for her firm because they're a great employer.
Addressing
And
the
Grant's never
location
dated
attack.
a woman so success driven.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
But he also then goes, but I know when enough is enough. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you want
It
ambition
was
or do you
aggressive.
not?
It was like, but I know how to have fun,
Yeah.
and you better be able to
He's
have
like,
fun.
I want you to be ambitious to exactly the right amount that I deem is
Yeah.
correct. If you're 1 iota more, get out of here. 1 iota less, get out of here.
You better have gone to Europe between 3 and 5 times this summer.
Yeah, 3.2 times. You better have gone
She
to
went
Europe
4
3 times
times.
and come home early from the 3rd trip by 1 day exactly because you missed your dog. If none of that happened, you're not in my ambition Goldilocks zone and you get out of here. You go sleep with the fishes with Beverly. Something like that.
Beverly told me she liked to work a lot, and you don't see her at this prom, do ya?
Exactly. She didn't know how to turn it off, so I turned her
Yeah.
off.
I turned her off. We see, and Dina's like quick responses to that is, I went to Europe 4 times during the summer. I work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
So Dina's got to pick up the playfulness play, I think.
Yeah,
We're
she's
going to see
too
her
serious.
chubby bunnying
Exactly.
next week,
She
maybe.
needs some tips from Parisa. We see Alex get this one time where she says, let's do superlatives. Best smile. They both simultaneously, 1, 2, 3, you. Most likely to have a secret crush. 1, 2, 3, you.
I wanted them to be naming the other players during this. I was like, ugh, boring.
I just wanted him to say basketball on every answer like he did on their one-on-one date. Most likely
My
to
secret
succeed.
crush, basketball.
Most likely to succeed, basketball. Grant says, is there an us category? Oh, she likes this. That gets some kisses. Then we see Rose stalking around the house.
Pinocchio.
Carolina's ITMing, not liking this feeling after what Rose told her. She says she's trying to have a decent time, but she wishes she could just talk to Grant. She says she's spiraling. Now, producers are doing this on purpose. They could sit her down and get her that conversation she needs at any time. They're not doing it. They're letting her walk around and stew in her own juices in order to try and have a nervous breakdown or at least make this whole night collapse around her.
No, they literally said, we have the Puerto Rican Victoria Fuller.
Yeah.
Let's capitalize.
I agree.
And they did.
We then get this one-on-one time with Zoe where she opens up with a how you doing. She says she's doing well. You've sacrificed your prom for basketball. I also made nerdly sacrifices. She didn't go to prom either. She'd love to have a dance with him. They dance under this mirror ball. And then the Golden Mansion men give him the thumbs up. We see some one-on-one time with Dina. She opens with a triple kiss. Carolina then ITMs that she doesn't want to be played. She needs to talk to him. She's about to leave. Carolina comes in and steals from Natalie. And we see Dina playing Papa Shot with Jonathan. And then we get this one-on-one time with Carolina and Grant that is the teaser where she explains somebody told her that he was thinking about a different woman when he was dancing with her. And he's like, who told you that? And she's like, I'm not here to do any of that. And he's
That's
like,
not what I want to talk about in our time.
it's like,
That was funny.
yeah, somebody is saying bad shit about me. Who? I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
But you just did. That was the whole thing.
Give me a break. Let's not talk about the other women.
Nonetheless, Grant goes into
that's a table turner.
immediate investigation mode. Was it Bailey? No. Was it Dina? No. Was it Litia? No. He just goes through all of the players remaining. No. Finally,
Error by Grant. Guessing like
a
this.
huge error, and he was wrong in every case. He also has revealed that he's terrible at investigating, which gives Carolina some valuable information. You can spin things on this guy. He ain't going to put 2 and 2 together. You can wrap this dude up if you want to. Just twist him around your finger.
And get him to like guess who his 4TW are, like liars are. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to guess who the liars are, Grant? Come on.
I know. He botches.
You ever seen the show?
But then he
I don't want
launches...
this to be a thing. LOL.
He elevates this investigation, eventually deducing it is Rose. He pulls her for the chat, and he point blank asks her, and she explains, I thought that I did hear you say that. And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, sorry. Honest mistake.
I really thought I heard that.
What?
Honestly,
she just made
I
this
thought
up.
this was a good defense by Rose, given the circumstances.
Oh, absolutely.
It's kind of like, oh shit, sorry. Like, I really did think you said that. Like,
yeah. When you're caught in a
Rose
lie
seems
like that, that's all you
so
can do.
stoned to me. I think that's
Interesting.
I think that's why I like her play style. Maybe it's because of the way she talks, like that.
Yeah.
You did me dirty.
Right.
The vocal fry, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
interesting. But she tries
like,
to...
he gave her like, I feel like she almost wins it back.
Well, I mean, that's a producer Rose, but she explains basically that all these women were comparing notes and it wasn't a good moment for her. She could have easily made the mistake because she really thought he did say something like that. She's wrong. I'm sorry. She owns her words and it was a mistake. And that was not her intention. This would have been my error of the game had Beverly not disappeared. Rose then
It would have been my
ITMs.
error of the game had Serafina not made that dress comment.
Yeah, that's a bad one too. There were a bunch of errors tonight.
Yeah.
Rose then ITMs that she didn't think their time would go like that. She really thought he said that. She didn't think Carolina would talk to Grant about it. We then see Grant and Carolina with more one-on-one time where he explains he talked to Rose and I didn't say that. Carolina's like, that was insane. It really sucked. The other women are all talking about Carolina getting too much time to talk to him and she already has a Rose. This is the turtles turtling. And finally, Carolina tells Grant she feels like she caused this issue. We see Litia telling the other women that she wanted to make sure people who didn't have roses get their time. So she hung back, essentially saying like, Carolina is fucking
Rose
you
in
over.
pocket.
That ain't me. We see Carolina get a couple of kisses and the other players don't know what Carolina is talking about with him. We see Chloe is ITMing about fear of turtling and having anxiety. The Golden Mansion men then place a crown on Grant as the prom king. All the women get tiaras as prom queens. Serafina ITMs that the drama cut into everybody's time. DLP emerges, a double ting, ding, ding. Rose ceremony is next. That is the end of standard play. We then go into this rose ceremony with Bailey being very confused, Serafina being very frustrated, Chloe still ITMing, she turtled, didn't get even to talk to him once. Players are on the risers. He thanks them for the incredible week. He's going to put his heart on the line for all of them because they do it for him. His feelings are developing. Zoe, first flower. Juliana, Alex, Dina, Natalie, Serafina. DLP emerges for the final rose tonight, does issue a dark touch, will not be outdone by Dark Lord Harrison's ghostly raven. Rose ITM's nervousness and produces tears. She does, however, get that final producer rose, keep her in the game,
Of course.
drive her insane next week. DLP.
She hasn't said did me dirty yet.
DLP then comes in to issue that TAM SIG, and we say goodbye to Chloe, Allie Joe, and Bailey. Thank you for your service. See you in paradise. They are all stellar players who were cut down before their time.
Such good
I was
players,
very
and they
sad.
don't make it to the travel round.
I
As our
agree.
promo says, we're going to Madrid.
Madrid, some bull riding, kissing, sparks, chemistry, tears. Carolina is lying. Somebody's backstabbing. It's the Carolina show. Who was your MVP?
For her gorgeous, wonderful, chaotic, one-on-one play with my play of the game PTC, plus these doing this kind of general secret tattle that ends up resulting in a direct tattle. Carolina was my MVP.
Carolina was also my.
MVP.
Anytime you can get somebody, and Zoe got this too, but anytime you can get somebody to say it's not the your name show, it is your show. You have at least for that
You are the star.
episode, it's your show. She made this entire episode about her. Next week is going to be entirely about her as well. She is absolutely dominating the narrative arc for a huge portion of this regular season. And I think she's going to be able to ride it into the playoffs. I was just blown away by what she did here.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope she makes playoffs.
I think she's got
because
Bachelorette
I
potential.
love watching what she does. You think?
Yeah.
They're kind of giving her Ville.
It's a Maria
But they did that to
Georges.
Maria.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, she has a similar kind of thing to Maria Georges.
I agree. She's a little Maria
100%
Georges. She's a little, dare I say it, Caitlin Bristow.
Oh my God.
She's got a little
what?
tinge of that.
I mean, to
When
me,
she
she's giving the
straddled him-
Victoria Fuller,
Yeah.
the extremely strong first audience game,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. I'm like, when there is a villain who has a good first audience game, I mean,
Courtney
that's
Robertson.
Courtney Robertson. That is like some of the best TV ever.
Deanna Girardi.
I can't wait to see what happens. I love her face play. I love her Aloha play. I love her PTC play.
Yeah.
I love her slow, confident nods when the champagne is poured, smiling, like this weird signature gesture. The handshake play, the foot shake play, etc.
Yeah, she was great. I agree. Congratulations. Hats off to you, Carolina. Can't wait to see what you do next week. Can't wait for all of you to join us for that recap of next week and later this week in Bachelor Nation, where we'll be going through all the news, all the parasocial plays, our screams, etc.
Praise be, Dark Lords Palmer and Vanderpump.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.